Buffie designs where beauty begins. DIY treasures and crafty wins. Come join the fun, let your spirit shine. Create with heart in your own design.
I thought I would give you a step-by-step instruction on how I do the tissue paper technique, and I've had people ask, how do you do the printing portion of it? And it's been a while, so I thought I would update the video. So I first take a standard printing piece of paper. It's an 8.5 by 11, and you can get tissue paper at the Dollar Tree or on Amazon, which that's what this is. You get quite a bit for the money, and I can have that link down below, and just cut it down to size. It doesn't have to be perfect because you're going to cut that off anyway when you cut your image that you're printing. But while you're cutting it, make sure you have a little bit shorter piece of the tissue paper to the actual printer paper. And this is why you want to leave the tissue paper a little shorter than the printer paper, because you're going to now take some tape and tape it each side of the paper, all four sides, down with some tape just in the center of each side, and that will hold it down while you're printing. So you want to take your paper and put it in your printer and make sure it's in straight and no folds or anything. So now you'll want to go to your computer, to whatever program that you use, and I'm using Canva and going to the custom mode and choosing an 8.5 by 11 paper size to match the size of the paper that I'm printing on. Now I like to use Canva because it's easy to size your image to the exact size that you need for your project, and it's just a matter of moving the box to the exact size that you need. And sometimes these smaller projects are only like 1 inch to 2 inches big, so it's nice to get it right on to what size you really want. So then once you've chosen your image, you want to put it on the paper where you're going to print it off on your printer. And you can put several images on at once to save time to print them all at the same time. So then I'm just getting it to the size I want. Then I'm going to download this, and I'm going to do it as a JPEG because it just prints better. Then once that is downloaded, it'll pop up on your screen at the top, and just click on that to open your image. So once you've got the image open, you'll want to choose your printer. And if you have a color laser jet printer, I am so jealous. I want to get me one. And you'll want to hit portrait so your image will show. And then if you have different size chosen for your paper, make sure the letter is on 8.5 by 11 for your printer paper. And then just hit print and you're good to go. And this is what it looks like all printed on your tissue paper. So now you want to cut out your image, and I just cut it out big enough so that I can work with it separately out of the paper there, and then I can cut around it as close as I can. I forgot this step before I cut it out, but I like to spray any image that I've printed from the inkjet with a top coat, a clear top coat, so that it seals that color in. Otherwise it will bleed quite a bit, and it still can bleed if you're not careful with the top coat, but I just want to give it one little coat so that it helps it somewhat. So now I'm taking this already painted ornament and I'm using some Mod Podge. I'm going to give it a good coat of Mod Podge on that white paint because we're going to transfer that tissue paper over to the ornament. So I just want to give it a nice coat. So now I'm going to take my image and place it on top of the Mod Podge where I want it, and then we're going to use some parchment paper to cover over it and iron this image onto my ornament. Now, what I did wrong is I had the heat up too high and I think I held it on there too long. So you don't need it on too long because it's just going to reactivate the stickiness of the Mod Podge, and it tends to grab onto the paper, which it did here, and I had to be really careful when I pulled it up. So now you want to take some Mod Podge and carefully do a top coat. You could always leave it if you want, but I want this to last, you know, after creating it for Christmas, you kind of want it to last for several years. So I'm just gently putting a top coat on the whole ornament so that that image will stick and stay on for good. And then clean up any edges that you might have got the Mod Podge on. So now I have this red and white twine that I'm using for the hanger, and I'm just using some tape to cover the end of the string so I can feed it easily through the whole of the ornament. And so I thought it would be cute to put a natural colored bead through it and put both strands in and then just push it to the top of the ornament and then just tie the string in a knot for the hanger, and we are done. And here's what it looks like all done. It's so cute, and you can use this on any project, and it just is so flexible and easy to use. I wanted to show you a few of my projects that I've used this technique on and how they turn out. And this flower one is so adorable. And again, you can print any picture, black and white or color, and put it on your project. Again, the color's a little bit more difficult. The black you can put on a laser jet and it comes out fine. If you have a laser jet that is color printing, that's even better because it dries faster. And this one is one of my prized possessions. I love how this one turned out, and it's in my living room usually year-round except for on the holiday season. But it is gorgeous, and you should watch the video on this on how I transformed some different looking, like totally different looking dishes into this. And so I wanted to share this one, of course, with you. And then I made this sign for our porch, and I love how it turned out. The sign is made out of an old cutting board that I purchased from the thrift store and transformed it into my sign, and it was perfect for this project. And the welcome part I just printed and then matched the coloring of it to my sign, and it turned out really awesome. I just love this piece. I have it sitting up by my door now to protect it from the elements. If you would like to see each of the videos that I've created these projects in, I'll have the links listed down below in my description box. So there's the technique, and I hope that you'll use this on your next project. And I just wanted to really share all of the flexibility that goes along with this technique and how many projects you could actually think to put it on. You can put it on glass, wood, and plastic, just about anything. And again, you can do color or black and white. Just be more careful with the inkjet and don't let it smear. Always protect it with some spray. And I just hope that this helps with a new technique for you to try in your crafting and maybe give you some new tips you didn't know. And also, I want you to share some tips with me if you have anything that I am not aware of. It helps us to share our tips so that we can be better at our crafting and know that we can share them freely with others and help others out. So let's be nice to each other this coming year. So I just wanted to say again, thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope it helps, and please make sure to come back and also subscribe, like, and comment down below what you think of this technique, because I really would like to know. So thank you again, and I hope that you all will have a wonderful day.